Heat is a 90s film where Al Pacino and his hair run around a lot. It's a trashy magazine about celebrities, it's one of the best basketball teams in Miami, and the topic of 83% of all disco tunes. There is a lesser known meaning, as in the science meaning, that the disco tunes were actually closest to getting. Well done, disco. Out of all the music from the 70s, you get a gold star for scientific accuracy. Glam and prog rock, okay, you must do better. Punk, see me after class. Heat is being warm. Okay, leave it to me. I'll actually explain it and not just use a similar sounding word. So let's start with energy. It's what you give to something so that it does something. For heat, you give some energy and the little bits you give it to wiggle about. We feel that as heat. See dictionary? It wasn't so hard. The first person to realise heat was energy flowing from one thing to another was a chap called Heraclitus, a chap who rubbed his face a lot and who turned down being a king. He also predicted Twitter. Dogs also bark at what they do not know. Pretty much sums it up, but he did say things like energy flowed, so he nailed that. What he did not nail, however, was the treatment of dropsy, where he buried himself in poo so the warmth of it would cure him. What actually happened was a pack of dogs smelt him out, attacked him, and promptly ate him. So let's chalk that experiment down as a failure, shall we? And maybe, just maybe, don't point out how stupid dogs are if you're planning to get eaten by one. So what's the difference between heat energy and temperature? Well, heat is the energy inside something that makes everything jiggle about. This makes it get a bit larger, and by measuring how much something like air or water gets bigger when it jiggles about more, because you've given it energy, you can measure how much of this heat energy it has taken on. This is its temperature. Temperature was first measured by Dan the Fahrenheit man in 1724. An orphan, after his parents died from eating the wrong mushrooms, he became a glassblower and invented his first thermometer. He chose the coldest thing he could measure as 0 and then the warmth of his armpit as 90, because why not? This armpit scale was renamed Fahrenheit by Dan the Fahrenheit man and no one complained. 1738 came along and a Swede called Anders Celsius thought basing a whole area of science on the temperature of one German's armpit seemed a bit, well, unprofessional. So he decided to set 0 and 100 as the temperature that water freezes and boils. Except old Anders got it upside down, and no one wanted to say anything because he was quite a big cheese. He did lots of great astronomy, which was like the disco music of the time, and the whole temperature thing was just his side gig, and so Fahrenheit became Celsius. But setting the smaller number as the higher temperature just didn't seem right, so everyone waited until Anders Celsius died and the stage was set for the hero of our story, Carl Linnaeus, who turned it the right way round. Look at the Wikipedia pages for the three. Carl the legend Linnaeus, the man who set a sensible temperature scale for the whole world, don't worry, the USA will get to you in a minute, gets nothing named after him. Linnaeus, the legend, was more interested in plants and insects, but I, for one, will start referring to temperature in the correct units. 10 degrees Linnaeus. Okay, maybe there was a reason. And that is temperature, the measurement of how much things are jiggling due to the energy put in as heat. And out of the 195 countries in the world, 194 use Celsius for temperature because it is sensible and splits the difference between water freezing and boiling by 100, two things most of us are familiar with. The USA, the land of the free, the world's most powerful country and only remaining superpower, prefers to use the warmth of a German's armpit as its temperature scale. The warmth of a German's armpit.